Board of Supervisors is in session for November 18th at 09:04 hours, and I'd call for the roll call, please.
Supervisor Delmore?
Here.
Supervisor Pinches?
Here.
Supervisor Smith?
Here.
Supervisor Colfax? Chair Wattenberger?
Here. I'd like to invite Mr. Graff to lead us in Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mr. Graff.
Operated under the old cameras.
I'd like to announce that there'll be a closed session at the end of today's open session business, and there is an agenda addendum to address this afternoon's session.
Can we go ahead and take up on the closed session agenda item B, ratification of closed session report of November 4th, 2008?
2B. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you recall, on November 4th, I reported out that it appeared that the county had not reported out from its closed session item taken in July 22nd under initiation of litigation, and that the board had, by full consensus of the board, had authorized the county counsel's office to file a short amicus brief in the case of the Millview Water and State Resources Control Board issue. I would like to ask the board at this point to ratify my report out that I did on November 4th by official action, an official vote of the board. And my report out is also contained in the November 4th minutes as well.
Okay, discussion to the item from the board.
So moved.
Okay, there is a motion and a second. Or there is a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, and before I call for the vote, there is a speaker card here on this item, Mr. Howard.
Good morning, gentlemen. Lee Howard, 3900 Parducci Road, Ukiah. I don't know if you can remember back to 2004 when Proposition 59 was passed by the voters of elevating the Brown Act to a constitution. But it did happen. And in essence, my argument today is to you is you don't let the public know what you're doing in this particular case at all. If the public would have known, I'm sure that your amicus brief that you filed would have been somewhat different. The amicus brief was put together in a vacuum, and it shows a vacuum. I won't go into the merits of that case or the amicus brief. The merits that I'm here to argue are principles in the fact how you reported out. If you would have reported out that day legally and fully, the public would have known what was going on and could have entered the discussion somewhat. I question whether the closed session item as it stands was a legal closed session item to start with. Jeannie and I have had discussions on that. I will be briefing this board in the future that we don't think that it is or was a closed session item. You were not a party. You did not participate. You could have asked to be an intervener. You didn't. It was simply an amicus brief. And the public has a right to see and know what's going on. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Council, any response to the?
No.
Okay. Discussion from the board? Okay. There is a motion and a second.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
the question is, what are we doing here, and with this particular item? I mean, something that's happened in the past, we're now saying we approve it, or that,
You're just ratifying the report out that I made on November 4th, that's all.
we're ratifying. That's it. I guess my concern here is if there's a question